Hi everybody! This week we are going to be experimenting with painting and painting using spices. So traditionally paint was made from metal compounds and then you used something to hold it together. So you had your color or your pigment, and then you had to have something to bind it together so that it would make it easier. It was the glue that would you'd be able to attach. So the binder would equal the glue. So binders come in a couple of different ways. There is water, which you would have for your watercolors. There is oil that you would use in oil paints. And then there's also plastic, which is in an acrylic paint. And each one of these paints are used for different purposes, okay? But you also need something that helps the paint to spread, and that is called your solvent. And this helps the paint be a little bit thinner and easier to spread. So this week we're going to be practicing and experimenting with a little bit of our solvents and binders, okay? The pigment that we're going to be using is spices from your cupboard. So what you're going to do is you're going to ask mom and dad first, of course, and then you're going to look and see what kind of spices that you have. Some of the spices that I had were cinnamon, red pepper, cumin. I had some Arabic coffee, and then I also had some green tea. So what I did is I practiced and I mixed a little bit of the pigment or my spice, and I mixed it with either water or oil, which would have been my binder, because you're not going to be able to spread dry spices onto your paper. So after that, I checked them out. I checked them out and I practiced with them to see which one produced the better color. So you can see here that the water and the oil each have different effects on the spice. And then I made my painting with it. What would be nice to see is if you could make a painting and then maybe think about making the colors lighter or darker by adjusting your binder. Okay, so if you add more water, think back to when we did our watercolors. If you add more water, it's going to make the colors lighter. If you add less water, it might make the colors darker. So again, this is just experimenting and thinking about the colors that we can create with some spices from our cabinet. Okay? Have fun, enjoy, be creative. Bye! Materials that you're going to need are spices, mixing bowls, oil, water, paper, and brushes. Start by mixing a teaspoon of the spice with some water. Add a little more water as needed to make it smooth. Next, mix some spice with oil. Use the same spice, and then compare the two spices, the oil with the water. After you're finished experimenting with your spices and painting, make an abstract painting using your spice paints. Have fun and be creative. Woo!